Hi.
Hi.
Welcome to Why Are We Like This, a Heartstopper podcast. I'm Ashley, she, her.
And I'm Alyssa, she, they. And today we are continuing our discussion of Chapter 4 of the comics.
Whoop, whoop, whoop.
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to dive in right where we left off, which was with them getting on the coach to go to Paris.
Mm-hmm.
I love that Darcy calls them sirs. Like, just, morning, sirs.
Morning, sirs.
I love it.
I mean, that's like a thing in English schools. Like, you call your male teachers sir and your female teachers miss.
Yeah, no, I knew that. I just really like that she, instead of, like, addressing them separately, she addresses them together. I like to think that her gaydar is like, I know you guys are one, so I might as well address you as one.
Mm-hmm.
So then we see Charlie hugging his parents. I love that, like, Jane genuinely is, like, being so affectionate, and we don't see that a lot. And so
Yeah.
I love seeing her, like, all in this hug.
It's very mom, like, not seeing her child for, like, what, 2
Yes.
weeks for the first time, ostensibly. That's very much the energy that we're getting. It's like... Actually, I think it's just a week
Just
because
1 week,
day 6
yeah.
is the party, which is their last night.
Yeah, so it's a week, which probably feels like 2 weeks to a mother. So yeah, they hop on the coach. I forget that we don't have this, or I forgot that we didn't have this storyline of them, like, we shouldn't sit together.
So this is like a general overall vibe of this section of the comics versus the show, but there were so many times when I was reading this and I was like, I'm so glad they changed this. Especially some of the Tao stuff, but also just some of the, like, more angsty stuff about them coming out.
Yeah.
I'm glad we dealt with differently. I do like their little conversation about how Harry might be scared that Nick's gonna punch him again.
Charlie is so pleased with the punch. I love it.
I know, he's got this just, like, very satisfied smile. I love it.
Yeah. Which, like, he was pleased with it when he found out it happened the first time. Him bringing it up is like, I bet this constantly plays on his mind.
Yeah.
The teachers come on. We get our first quiet from Mr. Farouk of the trip.
Mm-hmm.
I love the, like, silence gets written in.
Mm-hmm. Also, really quick, Tara's reading Radio Silence.
Oh my gosh.
In my version. I don't know if that's in your version as
Yeah,
well.
on
but
top of it is.
Yeah, I love that.
I mean, I guess that's one way to get around, like, copyright stuff.
Just be reading, like, your own book.
Just be my own books. Yeah.
It is funny that that's the one that was chosen, though. Although I guess I'm not sure when, like, the timeline is of, like, when this was written versus, like, which of her books were out. Because I'm like, it's funny that it's Radio Silence because Aled is here.
Right, yeah.
And also, like, wouldn't this have taken place before Radio Silence? So it's just funny to me. Yeah.
We see them all hanging out, kind of, like, taking in the sights.
I do love that we have so why can't we see any fish?
Yes, they go down in the tunnel. Mm-hmm. That is so classic.
Yep.
Nick and Charlie, Nick's, like, passed out on Charlie's shoulder, but nobody knows.
Incredibly subtle.
So then they arrive at the hotel.
I want to shout out Mr. Farouk handing out the keys and saying, I'll be in room 403 if you need me, but hopefully you won't.
Yeah.
Iconic.
And Mr. Ajayi's little slip up, like, oh, I'll be sharing with you. Mr. Farouk.
I wrote foreshadowing with 3 exclamation points next to that.
Also, killer shirt.
Yeah.
I also want to point out they're in room 414. In the show, it's 214 instead of 414 because it's the same as Buffy's dorm. So I will never forget it.
Of course. And then, of course, in between 214 and 414 is room 314, which you don't want to go in.
Right. And that's how I remember that her dorm is 214 because I was like, oh, it's just one down from 314, like, fucking literally.
Yeah.
Okay, so then they go into their room and we get the one bed trope, except for their friends ruin it.
Yeah. This is, like, where my like frustration with the fact that they haven't told Tao yet in the comics kind of starts.
Yeah.
And it reaches a fever pitch a bit later. But the way that this goes down in the show, I think just works a lot better.
Mm-hmm.
This just feels really awkward and weird.
Especially because Alan, he does know.
Yeah, it's weird.
I do love the panel where Tao is saying, well, I want the other bed then. I hate getting woken up by the sun. Both of their faces are so good. Nick's like flat eyes.
I love the panel after that where we see Alid on the one bed and Tao like spread eagle on the other one.
Stretched out.
Yeah, it's a good thing Charlie is with Tao because Tao's taken up a lot of space and Charlie is small.
Also, at this point, Tao and Nick are not like
friends.
I feel like, yeah, later they could maybe share a bed, but now can you imagine the two of them sharing a bed? It would be, Tao would not shut the fuck up. Complaints 24/7.
Mild threats whispered into Nick's ear while he's asleep. Oh my god. Someone write that fanfic though. I just want to imagine comic Tao being forced to share a bed with Nick and that being the mechanism by which they become friends. No, I will not be writing it.
But we will read it if you write it.
Yes, you can have that one for free. I will read it and I will give you kudos on it.
So yeah, we get the line about not wanting to make Charlie feel awkward and standing next to girls makes me feel like I'm being electrocuted. I echo what you said earlier. I do think that this works better in the show with him already knowing.
The thing that frustrates me about this is it just feels like an extension of like Mother Knows Best Tao.
Yeah.
And like in the show, it feels a bit more like I don't want the two of you in a bed.
Yeah.
I don't want no hanky-panky in our hotel room. Right? And he like uses like the way he's feeling about Elle as like a justification. This just kind of feels like, you know, this is what's best for you. I say this is what's best for you, and I'm not even going to give you a say in the matter. So yeah, my Tao hate is going to come back a little bit because we don't have the character growth of season 2 of the show. Yeah, and then Charlie's like very much trying to tell Tao and is like really looking for these opportunities.
Yeah. He's so close to getting it out here too.
He keeps getting interrupted.
Yeah, Tara interrupts looking for Alid because she has his phone charger. Tara and Darcy come in. Darcy's like, whoa, your room is so small, which is an important detail for later.
Mm-hmm.
And I love what a disaster Tao is, though. I love it so much. He's like hiding behind Charlie, gripping his shoulder. He's like, is Elle out there? Tell me if Elle's out there. And so then Darcy's like, come see our room. It's huge. And she like goes to take them out and Tao like cannot hold it in. He's like, but is Elle in there? Like, I'm only coming if Elle is in there.
It's only worth it if Elle is there.
Yeah. What a disaster. I love it.
Mm-hmm. And then Nick just pokes his head out of the bathroom and he's like, what did I miss? Everyone's gone.
Yeah, the entire room is empty now.
Mm-hmm.
Then we get the really embarrassing and adorable conversation that they have where Charlie says he just wanted to share with him. And Nick's like, we'll get to do it one day. And then they're both blushing furiously. I mean, not do it. Share a bed, I mean. That came out all wrong.
It's so cute. I love how, like, playful and flirty they are, though.
Yeah.
It's like I can't wait to do it with you one day.
Yeah, Charlie's super flirty.
Yeah.
That completely fries Nick's brain.
It does. And then they start, like, making out.
I love that Charlie, like, grabs him by his hoodie strings and pulls him in for the makeout.
Mm-hmm. And then enter Darcy. Are you two coming or, oh, you're being gay. Good job. Carry on.
Their faces.
like what? I do love the will we ever kiss someone without someone walking in, and Nick saying, we do kiss in risky places kind of a lot.
Yeah.
I'm like, but you can't help yourselves. And I'm just like, boys, get it together. Although I'm going to talk more about that in a little bit.
Yeah.
When Charlie and Darcy, and when Charlie and Tara talk.
So then we get them in the restaurant. I want to know what Darcy's saying to Tao to make him blush so hard and be so mad.
Something about Elle.
I'm sure. And then we have Nick noticing that Charlie's not really eating, and he's looking very, very worried, which we will get into later.
Mm-hmm. And then we have this kind of like, just flashes of the boys going to bed, and Nick and Charlie reaching their arms across the, void in between the two beds to hold hands, and my shoulder starts to hurt.
I love that it's like Nick is looking over to see if Alad's asleep, and Charlie's looking to see if Tao's asleep. But I don't know why it matters if Alad is asleep or not, because Alad knows. So really they just needed to wait until Tao went to sleep, but just a minor detail that I was like, but it doesn't matter.
I think there's maybe like a like wanting to be mindful of the fact that the person you're sharing a bed with is asleep and not wanting to be like too loud. And just like
I guess they could be talking.
Yeah. And then I do love their like the next morning.
Oh my god, I love it so much.
Nick just kind of looks dead.
Yeah.
He's just like arms flopped off the bed. Charlie's, curled up. It's very cute.
Then we get knock, knock, knock.
Paris, day 2.
Tao gets up to answer the door, and he is like putting his jacket on so that he can open the door. And Elle is who's at the door, and she's trying to tell them that it's time for breakfast. And when he opens,
she looks adorable. I love the like Shordalls sweater.
Yes.
Yeah,
with like
love it.
It looks like there's some like fringe, like maybe it's cut off overalls.
Yeah,
super cute. They're both like blushing furiously. I love the panel below them of Tao's face just like completely covered in blush.
Yeah.
Panic.
Slam the door shut because I don't know what else to do.
He just says, "It's Elle," and everyone just looks at and I'm like, yeah, okay.
And
she's like, "We'll just meet you down there." And he walks over and sits down and he says, "Help me."
He needs help. He's hopeless.
A hot mess, this one. So Charlie tries to talk some sense into him, and he's like, Elle likes you back. Tao immediately rejects this and says that he's just trying to make him feel better and that he's going to shower. And I love Nick being like, I don't know, like his little show, like, I don't know what to do. I feel like Tao's got some real insecurity stuff that he needs to work through.
Mm-hmm.
Just like the fact that he's not even entertaining the idea that she could like him is like an immediate shutdown.
I have thoughts about that when Nick tries to talk to him later.
Yeah.
But yeah, he very much just like can't fathom the possibility of Elle liking him back.
Yeah, and his immediate defense for everything is anger, but just the fact that he like, even from Charlie, he just like gets up and walks away is like showing you how strongly he's reacting to this.
Mm-hmm. And then we have them in Montmartre. And they get to explore by themselves, and Mr. Ajayi gives some recommendations, like the Sacre-Cœur Church and the Musée de Montmartre. And Mr. Farouk, ever the grumpus, is like, that's museum for all the students on this trip who don't even take French. And I'm like, can you give all the students who don't even take French on this trip the benefit of the doubt? It's a cognate.
Yeah. Like, that one's pretty easy to figure out.
And it's also because we have established that they're all language students from the permission form.
Right.
And like,
they have common sense.
And like, now my only frame of reference is Spanish, but museum in Spanish is museo. And it's close enough. You can use,
especially verbally. They're not reading it. He's saying it out loud to them.
Yeah, it's common sense. Mr. Farouk is just being a grumpus.
I feel like it's me. I feel like I'm Mr. Farouk.
Yeah, no, like, I love it, but it's also, like, give these children the benefit of the doubt. But Mr. Farouk is 100% the kind of teacher who is not going to give these children the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah, for sure. I love this shot of them all walking together.
Yeah.
They're all very cute and excited. I like Tara's dress.
Mm-hmm. I like Darcy's button-down and shorts.
Mm-hmm. And then we get a lovely panel of Ajay and Farouk where Farouk says, I need a drink, an alcoholic drink. And Ajay's like, we probably shouldn't drink alcohol. And he says, I need a croissant then.
So, and just looking at the two of them, Mr. Ajay doesn't have literal hard eyes, but I think that this is the closest you could get to hard eyes without drawing literal hard eyes. And it's adorable.
So cute. I love them. And I love that panel. And I love the way it was done in the show, too. Very good.
Mm-hmm. So then we get the gang trying to figure out the plan. And Tao and Elle both in unison suggest the museum. And then, like, whip their heads to look at each other.
Yeah.
And Darcy is saying she's not into museums. Nick is saying they need to go to the Sacré-Cœur. Tara is saying she just wanted to wander around. Nick's saying he wants to get some food.
Mm-hmm.
And Tao and Elle are offended.
Yeah.
And like Renoir painted there.
Yeah, it's a really important place in art history. And it's like, they are that couple. Of course they are that couple. Mm-hmm. Nothing against it. I also love it, but it just, like, is perfect for them.
Yeah. And then the meddling gays.
With all of their, like, side tilt heads. They're all like...
And, like, smirks. Like, why don't you two go? We'll meet you in an hour.
Elle, like, nervously tucks her hair.
Yeah.
Blushes over at him. Just us, like, two?
Just us? And... They decide to go. So this is like Nick and Charlie and Alid initially meeting Sahar. Yes. Like for the first time in the comics. And we have these kind of like cuts in between of Tao and Elle and then the rest of the gang. And I can almost hear Mona Lisa playing in my head.
Yeah. We also get the shot of like Tara and Darcy with the I Heart Paris hoodie and Nick and Charlie looking at the postcards, which made it into the show. And then we have them all meeting up on the stairs again.
Well, before that, very importantly, as Tao and Elle are looking at the painting, they kind of brush up against each other.
Yeah, their fingers and their shoulders. Tee-hee.
Yep. And then they're on the steps.
Yeah. And Darcy's like, man, I am so hungry. Does anyone want to get ice cream? As if ice cream is a meal.
Nick also wants ice cream, and so does Alid. And Nick asks if Charlie wants ice cream. And Charlie says that he's still kind of full from lunch. And Nick says he barely ate. And Charlie disagrees.
Strongly.
Yeah. Says he's fine, and Nick lets it go. And Darcy says that they'll meet him back at the steps. So, like, Charlie's going to stay while they go to get their ice cream.
Yeah, and Tara's staying too.
Yeah. And the fact that Charlie is not in this next excursion is very important.
Yeah.
So we have Nick trying to talk to Alid about noticing whether Charlie has, is not eating a lot.
Alid said he hasn't really noticed. Asks if he's worried about it. Nick says maybe a little bit. Alid's like, you should just ask him about it if you're worried. Which, like, is much easier said than done.
Yeah.
Especially
because Nick definitely has tried to ask him about it, and Charlie shuts him down every single time.
And he's defensive, and Nick, the last thing Nick wants to do is fight about it.
Yeah, no.
Which is, like, I think a normal response when you're going through that is to just, like, completely shut it down. From Charlie's perspective, like, just get out, basically. Get out of this conversation as quick as possible.
Yeah. And then we get to the ice cream shop. And now I don't read French. I don't speak French. I know random French words, just from existing in culture. And so I'm able to figure out most of what's going on here between, like, cognates, things that sound very similar in Spanish, and context clues. There are other scenes of French later where that's not the case. This one's just pretty straightforward.
Yeah, I don't even speak another language, but I can make out, like, what's being said here.
Yeah, like, can we get 2 things of ice cream, 2 bowls, I'm assuming.
How much is this?
€5.
I think he's getting 2 scoops. He has 2 scoops on his cone later. So he's like, ask how much. He wants 2 scoops, 1 chocolate, 1 vanilla.
Yeah. He's like, "Your English? Your accent's very good."
Yeah.
And Darcy's like, since when?
Yeah,
Can
their
you speak French
faces.
like an actual French person? I really love the since his birth in
Yeah, my
response
dad is
to
French.
yep,
Since when? Since his birth. I think that Kit did a great job delivering that line.
yep. And then we get this really cool like panel of Charlie holding up his phone to take a picture of like the view from the steps. And I just really like it.
Yeah,
It's
it's
like
really
really
cool.
well like composed and like set up in on the page.
Yeah.
And then we get this really good and really important conversation between Tara and Charlie about kind of like how things are going with Charlie and Nick and how Tara and Darcy navigated coming out.
I love her throwing her head back laughing when he says that he was jealous of her because he thought that they might,
Yep.
she like
Mhm.
throws her head back.
And I think that this is like one of the most important conversations that Charlie has with anyone about coming out.
Yeah.
And like I also think that it's like the best advice that he's gotten thus far, or that either of them have gotten. Um of just like reaching a point where they're comfortable being themselves and not necessarily doing any like big coming out gesture, but just acting like a couple in public. And then
Yeah,
they
just
were like,
letting it happen.
yeah, they're like, we just stopped hiding anything and changed our relationship status. And I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, I mean, that was something that Facebook was very helpful for, was just like the relationship status. That's
Yeah.
not a thing on social media anymore. I mean, like, people will like put something in their like, Instagram or TikTok bio or whatever, but it's not the
Yeah.
same. It's not the
Yeah.
same as like going on Facebook and being like, so and so is in a relationship with so and so, and being like, I knew it.
Yeah. Called it.
Yep.
We also got the like iconic line of Nick's so in love with you, it's unbearable to watch sometimes.
Yeah.
Iconic.
And then I really love, so she kind of like goes through their whole thing, and then she asks if Charlie is worried about him and Nick being out, and he talks about how he doesn't want Charlie to get bullied.
Nick.
And I really like the like approach that Tara takes of just like, well, that's always a risk. Like, you're never gonna avoid that.
Yeah.
And sometimes it is safer to stay closeted. But I also think that she doesn't like harp on that, and she like doesn't give a definitive answer of it's safer for you guys.
Yeah.
She just is like, it's an option.
Right. I also think it's really important that she asks, but do you want to be out as a couple?
Yeah.
Because all of Charlie's answers thus far have been,
About Nick.
well, I don't want Nick to have to do this. Well, I don't want him to feel this way because of me. Okay, but what do you want? Because you're half of this relationship.
And I really love when Tara says, so maybe you should just let it happen. It doesn't have to be a big dramatic announcement. You can just be you. And if it goes badly, well, you can deal with it together. And I think that that's something that Charlie is having a really difficult time learning, is that he's not alone, and that no matter what happens, he and Nick are going to be able to navigate it together.
Yes.
Which, like, I will say is like a really difficult adjustment to make when you have like felt alone and isolated for a really long time, to realize that you have someone
100%.
on your team.
Yeah.
And I think that it was important for him to hear that.
I agree. Yeah, for sure.
But then, absolute disaster, Jonesy. They didn't have any mint chocolate left. So I got a strawberry.
Strawberry is also delicious. Tara gives her a kiss, and Darcy's like, whoa, what's that for? Charlie, like, takes it in. And then Nick sits down, and he says, do you want a lick of my ice cream? And then immediately panics.
It's like, that sounded really sexual for some reason. And I think that that's hilarious. There's certain verbs that, when you're in a certain stage in a relationship, aren't sexual at all, but feel sexual.
Yeah. Yeah. Charlie gets a good little giggle out of it. He's so cute.
Yeah. And I love that he like licks the bottom scoop and so gets some from the top scoop on his nose.
Which Nick thinks is the cutest thing ever.
I mean, it is the cutest thing ever.
It is. Fair. Look at his little face. Look at it.
Yeah. And then they're like holding hands, kind of subtly, like flat.
Yeah. Nick wipes it off. Notably, he does not lick it the way that he does in the show. And then Tao and Elle meet up with everybody.
I love the, like, you know, discussion of, like, do you think anything happened? And Charlie's saying, I hope so, or Tao is going to pine to death.
Which is true based on how he's been acting.
And I was just thinking, so The Sims just released a new pack that's, like, all, like, based around, like, romance and dating. Mm-hmm. And they included a new death that's, like, death by heartbreak. And I'm like,
no.
And I'm like, they should have had a pining yourself to death as well.
Call the developers. Patent. So then we get this conversation where Allie goes to the vending machine.
Charlie's showering. And you have the two people you don't want alone to be alone.
I love the, like, lost in thought. Tao is just, like, zoning out. But props to Nick for trying.
Yeah. I feel like Nick is someone who's not super comfy with awkward silence.
Yeah.
So he's like, let me try this. Let me give this a shot. Tao is immediately like, how dare you talk to me about this?
Yeah.
It was fine.
Did anything happen? No. What was supposed to happen? Nothing happened.
I just wrote on the side, the lady doth protest too much, methinks.
Yes. Totally. He's like blushing. His arms are crossed.
Mm-hmm. Like very annoyed. He's like, we just walked around the museum for a bit. It was nice. But I'm imagining him still being very angry while saying that. And Nick just like, okay, but have you considered telling her how you feel?
And then he looks really sad.
Yeah. And he's like, you don't get it. And he goes on this like adorable little like pining rant. Elle is literally the most amazing person in the world. She's been through so much shit. Like, I was her friend when she came out as trans, and that was not a fun time for her. She's been through all that, and now she's finally enjoying herself with new friends at a new school. The last thing she needs is me throwing a curveball and messing up our friendship. And I'm just like, hey, buddy, you don't know this, but Nick gets it more than you think.
And another important question, but what about what she wants?
Yep.
And then he says, sometimes it's worth taking the risk.
Tao is still annoyed. He's just, but it's more like, you're right, but I don't want to acknowledge that you're right because you're Nick and I don't like you.
And also, I think this is where the insecurity comes into.
Yeah.
He doesn't really believe that she would like him because he says, like, why would she ever like me anyway? And he has this, like, what I like to call his Ken moment. She's Barbie and I'm just Ken. She's everything. She's so cool and interesting and beautiful and I'm just me. But before, like, one of my favorite scenes in Heartstopper is what we get after this, where Nick is telling him, like, I think you're cool. I think you're smart, you know. Yeah. And we don't get that because Comic Tao is like, I'm aborting this situation. I'm getting out.
I think a very important part of the difference is that Tao knows in the show. And so there's not as much of like a barrier and Nick can be more vulnerable because there's nothing that they're keeping a secret.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And also because Tao has gone on a bit of a character arc by this point.
It's true.
This Tao has not really gone on a character arc yet.
That's so true. So true.
Mm-hmm.
And then we hear Nick hearing his own words. Sometimes it's worth taking the risk. And he's looking at his photo of Charlie, which... it says sneak shot at Charlie. And then Charlie says, you obsessed with me or something? And Nick replied, perhaps. Bro, nobody. Are you kidding me? No, well, people have to know.
Yeah, it's so weird because, like, on the one hand, they're taking the Tara and Darcy approach.
They just don't feel it.
But they just don't feel like they are.
Yeah. So then Charlie comes out of the bathroom and he's like, what happened? I love this shot of Nick, like, exasperated. Like, I tried to talk to him about Elle, but I majorly fucked it up, which I disagree. I think he did a great job. It's just that Tao rejected to hear anything he said.
I think that the main issue is that Nick is just the wrong person to have that conversation with Tao. I feel like if Charlie or Alid had said the exact same things,
yes, yeah,
I think that the conversation would have gone very differently. It's
That's
just that Tao just like has this like distrust and disdain
for Nick. Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
Which is kind of what Charlie's like.
Yeah.
It's not your fault. He's really stubborn. Huh. And he says, it's kind of how I felt when I thought you were still straight. And Nick's like, really? And Charlie's so cute with his little towel and Nick looking up at him. He like brushes his hair and rubs his hair.
And then things get a little bit more
playful. Nick pulls Charlie in between his legs. He's like, what? And then whoomp, pulls him over. They start wrestling.
Oh my god, you giant rugby idiot.
You're trapped forever. I like that when he grabs him with the blanket, he says, captured!
And he says, now you have to sleep in my bed.
That would probably be a bad idea, which I agree with.
And then Charlie climbs on top of him and they start making out.
Yes, just immediately go straight into the bad idea. Yes. I love the like flowers flowing all around. It says you taste like toothpaste, like the first time we kissed at your house. Charlie's like, well, yeah, I've literally just brushed my teeth, so. And then Nick starts to kiss his neck, and Charlie gets extremely flustered.
He's like, what are you doing?
And Nick says, I'm kissing your neck, is that okay? And he's like, I'm obviously, in all caps, obviously. Nick says, I thought so. And Charlie is losing his mind.
He's turning into a puddle.
He says, oh my God. Oh my God. And he says, you really are obsessed with me. Nick says, maybe a little bit. And then
He's got one eye on the door.
Yeah, we get these shots of him looking at the door. You can see, like, when he first looks at it, he's okay. But the second shot where we see, like, just part of his face, he's got the, like, squiggle mouth, which means he's, like, afraid. And he stops Nick, and he's like, we should stop. We're going to get caught. And he's like, you're right. They sit up, and it's really awkward.
Yeah.
He says, that's probably not how we should come out to Tao. Yeah. Like, definitely not. Especially when he's already in a bad fucking mood.
Mm-hmm. And I also feel like this version of Tao, like, realizing that there's another couple in the friend group, like, I feel like that would stress him out.
Yeah.
As well, of, like...
And it being Charlie, too.
Mm-hmm.
Who's already overprotective of.
Mm-hmm. Then we get Paris Day 3.
Fish.
I like the brush, pause, and then the, like, emphasis marks around the hickey.
Yeah.
And then, oh, fuck.
Huh.
And Nick's checking his phone. Messages with his dad that are all in French. I didn't translate it, but, like, really the important thing is that
he's been on red since
He's been left on red since yesterday.
Fucking Stefan. And rather than texting him, he just says, Nick, can you come here for a second? I love him pulling his collar away.
Yeah.
The arrow pointing.
And Nick just
freaks out.
Yeah, he freaks out. I love that. I'm so sorry. I didn't even know how to do that. I guess I kissed you kind of hard, but I thought you'd have to do it way longer to make that happen.
He's like, it's like word vomit. It just like won't stop. Charlie has to grab him and say, Nick, it's okay.
And to be fair, we talked about this in the music part 1 episode with Nicolette.
Yeah.
Like, Charlie definitely has the energy of someone who bruises like a frickin' peach.
For sure.
So, like...
Totally. Yeah, I'm sure that he didn't have to do much in order to leave a hickey on Charlie. He's like, I don't have any clothes that could cover it up. Well, yeah, it's summer.
Yeah.
Do you think anyone will notice? Yeah, I think everyone will notice. And Nick feels really bad.
Yeah.
But he cheers up really quickly when Charlie says, no, I mean, I really enjoyed it a lot. Blushy, blushy, blushy.
And this is like the biggest disappointment, like coming back from the show.
Yeah.
Is the fact that Tao doesn't know.
Yeah.
Means that we don't get angry mom Tao.
We get completely fucking clueless Tao.
Yeah. This says there was a spider on the ceiling.
And he couldn't reach it.
And then, how did you get a bruise on your neck?
We do see him consider, though. He almost.
Then he says, I fell in the shower yesterday. And it takes Tao a minute. He, like, considers it. But then
well,
is like, that was dumb. And I'm like, I think that this gives credence to the Charlie bruises very easily theory. Because for Tao to believe that he would be bruised by falling in the shower, I think.
Bruised on his neck.
Yeah.
From falling in the shower.
Well, look, he can't use the hair straightener excuse.
Right.
Which never worked anyway, because burns and bruises look different.
So true. So fucking true. Nick, like, encourages him. You could have told him if you wanted to. And he's like, it's hard.
I also feel like that wouldn't have been the best
way
to tell him. Like, well, I was making out with my boyfriend.
While you were at the vending machine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we have, like, this montage of people gossiping about Charlie.
We also have him saying, I'm going to tell him today.
Yes, we do. Yeah,
which I think is important. He's, like, setting his mind to it first thing that morning.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then we get the montage of them all talking about the Hickey. I hate this panel of him where it's just, like, all the laughter.
Yeah.
Oh, it hurts me.
It's, like, a very, like, distinctive callback to, like, the flashbacks of him being bullied.
Yeah.
And then they go to the Eiffel Tower.
We get some instructions. You've got until 2 p.m. to explore, so take the stairs at your own pace. Wait, we didn't get tickets for the elevator? No, we did not. Again, we see Nick dragging Charlie, I think for the same reason that I said in the show, and we're going to not dwell on that because it's sad and it hurts.
Mm-hmm.
And then Tara's, like, walking up. Darcy's like, carry me. She says, no.
I love that Elle's like, we made it. And Tao literally looks like he's about to pass out.
Tao's fucking struggling.
He's like, I need to lie down.
And Alan's just, like, poking out from around the corner, like, what?
Yeah. And then Nick and Charlie are taking a picture.
Again, love bite side first.
Mm-hmm. For Sarah. Well, they don't say that. They don't say that it's for Sarah.
Right.
But still.
Still, either way, switch spots, you guys.
Yeah. And then someone asks Nick, was the love bite from you then? And
we get cocky Nick.
Yeah, so what if it was? You jealous?
Which fries Charlie's brain.
It does.
OMG. The person who asks is like, I'm not gay.
So then Harry's like, all right, lads, fucking leave them alone. And the lads in question are like, it's just a joke, chill out. And Harry kind of, like, makes meaningful eye contact with Nick of, like, I got you.
Mm-hmm.
And Nick is confused, and I'm confused because this is, like, completely out of nowhere. Like, no explanation, no justification, no...
The only thing I can think is that the punch got through to him.
Nick punched some sense into him.
Yeah. Like, because we don't have the talk that Isaac gives him in the show, which I feel like is the catalyst for this storyline for him. And I love that they added that in because this is like, it feels like completely out of the blue.
Yeah. So then Harry's like, sounds like you're covering up that it was you. And the other guy's like, I'm not gay. Again. Which the lady doth protest too much, methinks.
Right, yeah.
That is, like, one of my favorite lines of dialogue from anything ever to quote. I love Macbeth. And Nick and Charlie are confused. And then Nick says, I was thinking about it, and I don't think I even mind if people find out it was me. And I'm like, yes, this is the conversation that you guys have had to have. You guys have needed to have for days.
Yes.
And I do think that Charlie needed to have that conversation with Tara in order for him to get to this point.
Because the last time that they kind of veered in this direction of conversation, he said, it was in the shed, the equipment shed,
Yeah.
and he was like, I think it might be
too much for me.
Too much, yeah. So this is like them coming back around and rediscussing it.
Mm-hmm.
And Charlie's like pretty hopeful about it. He's like, really?
Mm-hmm.
Nick says, yeah. He says, it's honestly, I think it would be a relief to just be out. Charlie discloses that he was talking to Tara about it yesterday. Mm-hmm. And they talked about how Tara and Darcy came out. And it made me feel like even if things are harder when people know about us, we'll be okay because we've got each other. And I love Nick's response of just like wrapping him up in a squeeze and says, that is literally the sappiest thing you've ever said to me.
Yeah.
Very cute. And then Tao's like, get over here. I need a photo of me and you and Aled. He says, I need to get a photo of us three because we always forget, which is relatable.
So relatable.
I almost always forget to take the photo. I'm
thinking back to Buffy prom when it was like we were leaving and we were like, we didn't take a picture of us.
Yeah, like everybody take photos quick. And Nick sees he's got a missed call from his dad.
Tries to call back, gets sent to voicemail.
Elle's taking the photo. Mm-hmm. It's super cute. I love that we see the whole phone.
Yeah. Then we get a few more pictures, one of like Aled looking out wistfully over the Eiffel Tower railing, and one of Tara and Darcy, and one of Tao and Elle being very snuggly.
Super snuggly.
Their mouths are very close to each other.
Yeah. Super cute. And I think that's the one that Charlie's like, that's a good one.
And he says, I look like an egg.
Well, you do wear a beanie, sir.
Mm-hmm.
Beanies tend to give you that nice round, oblong head.
Yeah.
Charlie obviously he knows that this is going to be like the moment. So he gets anxious. Yeah. And Tao picks up on it. He says, you look like you have something on your mind. He freaks out a little bit. Tao's like, go on, out with it. And we see him like fidgeting with his sleeve. Mm-hmm. He says, me and Nick are dating. Tao.
I like how small the like speech bubble and the text are there. Like, yeah, he's like barely getting this out. Yeah,
for sure. Yeah, totally.
Tao's like, dating who? Like, still entirely clueless.
Which reminds me of that meme that went around recently of like Sahar and Imogen, and it's like the photo of them like on the lawn in front of it's photos of each of them on the lawn in front of the Eiffel Tower, and the text is like it's above Sahar, and it's saying like, I hear people are shipping us, and then it's Imogen and she's like, shipping us to where? So good.
That's funny.
Charlie's like, each other. We're dating each other. And then we kind of see like the anxiety come in around them. I like that they're like teeny tiny in this panel, and it's like a spotlight on them almost.
Yeah. And Tao's like, I thought you liked him, but he's straight. And I'm like, Tao, open your goddamn eyes. I know that you've like been pining over Elle and that's been your primary focus, but oh my God, look at him.
But also I feel like Tao's the type of person to like label something in his mind and then not come back to it.
Oh,
like
certainly.
That's fact from that point on. So
yeah. And
Charlie's like, yeah, same. But it turns out he's bi and now we're going out. And Tao initially is like, oh, well, that's amazing. What happened? Did he tell you this week? Like thinking it happened in Paris. And that's when Charlie's face kind of falls again. And he's like, actually, it's been going on for a few months. We've been going out since April. I like that we see their like feet in this little well, Charlie's feet and Tao's legs, because it shows that Charlie's like up in like a cuddle with himself, like making sure that he's like all tightened together because he knows, like he's bracing himself, right?
Yeah.
And Tao's like, April, 3 months ago? And then he starts to question things. Do all our friends know? And Charlie puts his head on his forehead because he knows this is not going to go well. He's
Yeah.
like, yeah, Alid knows, and Elle, and Tara, and Darcy.
And then I don't like this conversation.
Yeah.
I think that they handle this a lot better in the show. Tao's like, why'd you wait so long to tell me?
He
And
takes
then
off his
Charlie's,
beanie, too.
yeah. Charlie's like, I'm sorry, I was scared you might accidentally tell people. And Tao's like, but I'm your friend. I never would have told anyone. And I feel like this is like really hard for Tao to hear because like it's like, oh, you don't trust me? Like,
Right. It would hurt. Like, if I
yeah.
was in Tao's position, it would hurt.
Mm-hmm.
Even if he did accidentally talk too loud and that was the reason. I also think that they don't really have proof that that was how it happened.
Yeah.
Like, you know, and so it's like even more of a dig because it's like, oh, well, this may be how it happened. And so that makes me not want to tell you things. I would be hurt.
I feel like he could have gone with like, well, I was scared of what you would think because I know you don't like Nick.
Yeah.
You know, and like then they could have like a different conversation. And like that's true. You know? I mean, like obviously like Alid saying that they think that Tao is like the reason that Charlie got outed, like made it harder, but before that, he was like still afraid to tell Tao because
I think he would have told him on the Paris meeting night had Alid not intervened.
Yeah.
And so, I don't know. There's many different ways that this conversation could have gone. This is my least favorite of all of them.
I think Tao being like, I think that this is what happened last year, like, and having that like self-reflection and that realization on his own, I think that was a lot better.
Yeah. Yeah. I do wish that in the show we had gotten a little more of a reaction from Charlie.
Yeah.
But time constraints and all that stuff, I get it.
Yeah.
Like, you can't spend too much on that. And he's obviously at his core Charlie. So he's going to be like, yeah, it's, you know, like, you didn't do it on purpose. I get it.
But yeah, because then Charlie is like, you know, I know you didn't mean to. Tao says that he's happy for Charlie. And then he kind of like starts to like spiral like in on himself.
Yeah.
And like all of his insecurities are coming out of like, I know I'm loud and always say stupid things. I probably would have fucked it up somehow. I'm a terrible friend. And like Charlie's like, oh fuck.
Yeah.
That's
and he
not...
says sorry for getting in the way.
Yeah.
And he leaves. I understand where Tao is coming from.
Mm-hmm.
But I want to be like, can you just slow down? Can you just slow down? Like, you're letting your mind get carried away with your own negative thoughts. If we can just slow down and talk, like, sit back down, work this out with Charlie instead of running away from it. And then Charlie is like devastated. And Charlie being Charlie, of course, he's going to say like, he's going to think that he's the problem, right? That he fucked it up. Mm-hmm. Both of them blame themselves for literally everything. And that is not good. Not good. Nick comes over and checks on him. And then it kind of just cuts to the next day. Day 4. Charlie has not slept. He looks like shit. They go to breakfast. Tao's like not really giving Charlie any attention. It looks like every time that Charlie looks at him, he averts his gaze. Mm-hmm. His plate's full. Nick checks on him. He says he feels a bit ill. I love Nick immediately being like, I have paracetamol. What can I do to help?
Here, have some Tylenol.
Yeah. That's me. I'm always like, I have ibuprofen.
He was like, or we could tell Mr. Farouk. Charlie's like, I'll be fine. Just not hungry. And then Ron Howard comes in and is like, he was not fine. We have Nick wrapping up the croissant and saying, I'll pack this so if you get hungry later, you can have a snack.
And then they go to the Louvre.
Mm-hmm. It says they have until 2 p.m. That's 4 whole hours. feel like that's not enough time to explore the Louvre. I feel like you're going to spend at least an hour, maybe more. I've never been, but I feel like you're going to spend at least an hour in line for the
Forever.
Mona Lisa. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. But also, it's a bunch of teenagers, and out of respect for the museum,
Yeah, no,
I
yeah.
think 4 hours is generous.
I'm just thinking of the times that I would go to the Met in New
Oh,
York.
yeah. I still
And
have not seen all of them yet.
me
And I
neither. And I've
yeah,
gone
it's
a
like
couple of
yeah,
times, and like
exactly.
I've gone for like 6,
Hours.
7 hours, like the whole day, and
Hours, yeah.
still you can't.
You can't get through it. But
Like,
I think also they're operating on the assumption that, like, they're mostly fucking off. They know these kids are mostly fucking off. I think that 4 hours is, like, a pretty good amount of time before they're like, "Okay,
yeah.
let's move on."
I'm like, this is like how I was like, well, I'm gonna go to the Philly Museum because I have 2 hours to kill, and I know that I'm not gonna like make a dent in this museum. But
I'll see a little bit of it. Yeah.
yeah, and like what I saw was really cool, and I want to go back,
Yeah.
and I just haven't had the time or energy, um, because it's still like a 2 hour drive.
I mean, and we went to the Museum of African American Music. I still feel like I could have spent, like
Oh yeah,
like 4 or 5 more hours in there.
yeah, just playing with the like
The different stuff, yeah.
different like music like samples and stuff.
Mhm.
And then Mr. Ajayi points out that it's very hot to make sure that they stay hydrated, at which point I have to remind myself, I'm like, I would assume that the art museum would have climate control for the benefit of the art.
Mhm.
But like you also still need to be hydrated even if you're
Are there I feel like some of it is outside though, like
yeah, some of it is outside.
and, like, if they're going in and out and plus all the stairs, I'm assuming there's multiple levels.
Mhm.
So, it makes sense.
I love Farouk just being like, and please try not to get lost. Like, I don't want to do the paperwork.
Yeah, no thank you. Nick and Charlie are lagging behind.
Yep.
We get Darcy.
Darcy's That's the Mona Lisa. I feel like everyone who's ever gone to the Louvre and like waited in the line for the Mona Lisa is like, it's not worth it.
It's small. You don't
Yeah.
think it looks that small in photos, but it is. I love Darcy's face. Just like I love any time that the character has like the flat eyes.
Yeah.
So good. Tal and Elle have wandered off together.
They're in this little like sculpture room looking out on the like central courtyard.
The pyramid.
And they kiss. And I love it's just this like quiet little moment where it like cuts away to the two of them. Like
Holding
I really
hands.
love the conversation that they have in the show, but I also love the way it's just this like little thing and then we like cut back to the rest of the group.
Yeah. I like that, like, the last time we saw them together by themselves, they were, like, brushing against each other. And then it's a hard cut from the group. Like, oh, I think they wandered off together to them holding hands. So we already know there's been developments.
Uh-huh.
And then they kiss. And this is the shot that Alice drew, and then it took them, like, 2 hours of running around the loop to, like, find that window so that they could film the scene.
Yeah. And then we have the group being like, this place goes on forever. And we have confirmation of the lack of climate control. It's so hot, I'm dying. Where even are we? Nick's saying he has the map. I've definitely gotten lost in art museums before. And it's just like,
so hard.
and you're just like, you know what? I'm just going to vibe. And, you know, eventually I'll find something that'll lead me somewhere. And eventually I'll get out. Yeah.
I am not afraid to be like, excuse me, person standing in a corner in a suit.
I have been here for hours.
Please tell me how to get to X exhibit because I have wandered around for at least 2 hours trying to find it.
Yeah.
Charlie looks not good. Not good
I
at all.
love the way that, like, these panels when he's, like, feeling faint are, like, falling apart.
And they're like, and Nick's face is, like, blurry. There's, like, two of him everywhere. When I was rereading this to do my notes, I, like, showed my phone. I was like, look at these panels. Like, I love these panels, like, making Zach look at it. I was like, look at how good this is done. Like, it's terrible content and it makes me hurt so bad, but I really love the way that Alice has drawn it.
I know. I love too that, like, what Nick is saying is, like, illegible.
Words,
like, you can't figure out what he's saying, and you're just I don't feel very well, and then he's out.
And like the splotches, right? It starts with like light gray and then it gets darker and the splotches get like more and more and more until they're like black and they're everywhere. And then we get like just the tiny little shot of his face.
Yeah.
And then drop and it grabs him.
Yeah.
And he yells, "Someone get Mr. Farouk." And we get like the gray panel by itself. And Charlie's blinking
like
away.
Coming to you, yeah. And being like, "You passed out, are you okay? Sahar, you were only out for 30 seconds.
I like the idea that he like passed out and she was like 1, 2, 3. Like constantly.
I mean, honestly, it's probably like useful information, like especially if it had gone on for longer.
It's true.
Like if like they needed
I never would have
EMS.
thought that. Like, good on her for being on it because I wouldn't have.
And then Darcy, "You must have gotten overheated. I passed out once when I was wearing a beanie during a heat wave." And Dar's like, "Of course you were wearing a beanie during a heat wave."
Does it say a heat wave?
Yeah.
Mine says 30-degree heat. Which, yeah, I want to see what 30 degrees Celsius to Fahrenheit. So that's 86 degrees Fahrenheit for the Americans. That's too hot for a beanie, Darcy.
Yes. Granted, it's been in the 90s a couple of days recently, and so I'm like, 86, that's nothing.
Sure, but to be wearing a beanie.
Yeah, no, yeah. And then I have to remind myself it was 86 when I went to the zoo the other day, and I was like, had to like sit down and rehydrate every like 7 steps.
Dude, I fucking bet. It's too hot for me to go outside. I have not been leaving my house for anything outdoors. Like, I'm going from AC to AC only.
Yeah, well, so this is the thing, because like I was like, well, there's like inside parts that'll probably be like air conditioned, but the like inside exhibits had like no ventilation.
So it's just stuffy.
It was just stuffy, and
you have to have some sort of airflow. You just have to.
There was like one part that was like all like nocturnal animals, and that was a bit cooler and had some like airflow. And like literally at one point my friends were like, "Do you want to go back and just stare at there's an animal, a ringtail that we found very entertaining. Like, you want to go back and look at the ringtail for a little bit?" And I was like, "No." Because we were like almost done. I was like, "No, I just want to sit and drink and eat my kiwi that I packed."
Yeah. Kiwi, yum.
Yeah, kiwi has been like my jam lately. Anywho, Charlie's like, "Did I fall on you?"
Nick's like, "Kind of, but I'm glad you did," which, valid.
Yeah, because like at least he was able to control Charlie's descent and prevent head trauma.
Yeah. And if he bruises easily, I'm betting that he also gets concussions easily.
Yeah. And Darcy, "You're lucky you fell onto your boyfriend. I fell into a swimming pool." Which begs the question for Tara of, why were you wearing a beanie at a swimming pool?
So true. What the hell, and Darcy?
I was really tempted. I ended up not, because when I was doing my notes, this particular friend was working, and I was like, I don't want to bug her. But I have a friend who, when we like first met in college, she wore beanies. It was like, 24/7. And I wanted to ask her, like, "Hey, would you have worn a beanie during a heat wave to a swimming pool?" But I didn't ask. But I might still find out, and if I do find out, I will report back. I love that Mr. Jai has the first aid kit.
Yeah, just like clutching it.
Yeah.
But before that, Nick like checks in. He's like, "Are you okay?" Charlie says he's just really embarrassed. I wish we had gotten an action shot of Alid the way that we do in the show with Isaac and Imogen, like stampeding their way back.
Yeah, with the like being embarrassed thing, like I can imagine, because I've only ever passed out once, and it was in my bathroom. So I was holding like a glass, right? And I was like going back into the kitchen to put the glass away, and I like misjudged the angle on where like the like side table was, and I slammed the glass into the glass side table, and so the glass shattered in my hand and like had cut like part of my finger, right? I'm like literally like sitting, we're like watching, like me and my parents and my siblings are watching a movie, and I was just going to like put my glass away, and this happens, and I'm like, "Oh, I'm bleeding," and my dad's like, "Just go rinse it off," right? And I'm like rinsing it off, and it wasn't even a lot of blood, But I just, like, I think it was
It
just,
just
like,
got to you. The combination of losing blood plus seeing it, yeah.
and I was like, I don't feel good. And my dad came running over. He had chocolate in hand already, just to, like, re-up my blood sugar or whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
But, like, I, like, blacked out for a second, and, like, I, like, braced myself against the sink, and, like, that ordeal with just my family was embarrassing. Like, I can't imagine being around all these people in the Louvre.
Yeah, like your classmates plus strangers.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's rough.
And then having the, like, teachers, like, roll up, like, looking all concerned. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Then we get them like checking in. He's like, yeah, I just haven't eaten enough. He's like, are you sure you didn't hurt your head or like yourself? And he's like, no, Nick kind of caught me. And he says, okay, but if you feel ill at any time on the trip, you can come and tell me, okay? If you need to sit down or just want to rest on the coach, that's absolutely fine. And Charlie nods. And this is like flipped from the show, right? This is
Yeah.
Farouk sitting here talking with them while Ajayi goes and gets the sandwich. And I think it does make more sense in the show just because of the way, like, it's set, like, he has a relationship with Ajayi.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, but I do like him coming back and, like, setting it down and then giving us, like, the classic dad pose.
Mm-hmm.
Get those in your belly.
Yep. And then Mr. Farouk's like, we'll leave you to chill out for a bit, but Nick can come and find us if you need us, okay? I like that they're, like, giving him space, but also, like, making it clear, like, hey, if something goes wrong, because I'm sure that even though he said that he didn't hit his head or anything, they're worried about, like, a concussion, or they're worried about him getting sick, like, and so, like, I like that they're, like, giving him space because very clearly he doesn't want all of this attention, but also just making it explicitly clear, like, hey, if anything else goes wrong, you need to come and get us.
Right.
And then Ajay, well, I'm glad we didn't have to call the French ambulance. My French is terrible.
Nathan, I can speak French. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
As if he would forget that his crush could speak French.
Yeah, but, when you're, like, talking to your crush and you want to make a joke.
Yeah, truly. That's fair.
And also it was a stressful situation, yeah.
Yeah.
And Nick takes this opportunity to talk about how he's noticed that Charlie hasn't really been eating a lot and feels like it's getting worse.
Charlie starts to apologize.
Yeah. I love it. Nick's like, there's nothing to be sorry about. I just want to understand.
And we get, like, this panel, the background is what I like to call the, like, slightly worried background.
Yeah.
Like, it's not quite the anxiety background, but it's not a clear background either.
It's mild concern.
Yeah.
And he opens up the croissant and he's like, I know I don't eat enough. Some days I'm fine. Other days I feel like I need to control my eating. I used to do it a lot last year when everything at school was shit. I don't know why I do it. I don't know why I get so stressed and down about things, but the eating, sometimes it feels like the only thing in my life I can control. Sorry, this is making zero sense. I don't know why I'm like this.
At the top of that, mine says, I know I don't ... eat like normal people instead of eat enough.
Yeah.
So that's a difference.
I kind of like the change, though, to eat enough.
Yeah. It's more clear.
Yeah. Normal is relative.
Yeah, super relative. Nick's like, it does make sense. And you can always tell me stuff like that.
Charlie says the same thing that I've said so many times of, like, I don't want to annoy you or burden you. Let me tell you, in the last couple of weeks, I cannot even tell you the amount of times I've apologized to Eddie for needing something. And he's like, Alyssa, stop. You have nothing to be sorry for.
It's very relatable.
Yeah. And then he says, ever since I told you about, how bad I felt last year, I've been scared I just don't want you to feel like you need to look after me, like I'm some fragile, broken mess, like you need to fix me. I would hate that. So then we get this, like, statement from Nick that's, like, so important. Where he says, Charlie, I'm not going to start treating you like I'm a doctor and you're my patient. Unless you're into that, which is not the part that I was talking about. Thought about that. But I also think it's like a really important like moment of comic relief just to like
a little bit levity. I love his like cocky little like dimple poke he's trying to do. Just
but then he says, you're not fragile or broken or anything like that, but I want to know if you're having a bad day or if you want to find somewhere quiet to eat, just us two, or if you need cheering up because I'm your boyfriend and I
forgot about this part of the comic when I was watching this show, and I was like, oh, he wants to say I love you here. You can tell. And it's like, and then I'm rereading it. I was like, ah!
Yep. And right, like Charlie's just got like,
I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you.
And then I really care about you. Like this like affirmation of like, you're not fragile or broken.
Yeah.
Right? And
I'll never think of you that way.
And also this like, I want to know if you're having a bad day. Like inviting Charlie to like tell him when things are not good.
Yeah. Opening that door.
Because it can be really hard and like it can feel burdensome and it can feel like you're the problem. When really the people who love you just want to be there and support you, and they can't do that if you don't tell them what's happening.
Right.
And so I really like that conversation.
Yeah, it's really good. Charlie's immediate response is to want to kiss. So he's like, there's so many people around. Nick says, it's been 2 days. Too long, Charlie says. And then he starts to eat the very dry croissant that has been sitting in a bag for 3 hours. But he manages it.
We don't see him eat the sandwich or drink the juice or whatever.
It's true.
But I did write, because he says that he's feeling a bit less shaky anyway, and I was like, someone get this boy some electrolytes and some protein.
Yeah, a croissant is not what you need to eat in that situation.
Yeah. So then they're out in this, like, sculpture garden area.
And Nick gets a phone call. And it's his dad. And he answers in French. I love Charlie's, what? French? What is happening? Little hearts floating around. Tells him he's at the Louvre. This is where I can no longer read what's happening.
Yeah, me neither.
I'm sure it's like, are we gonna meet up?
You know what? Screw it.
Translate.
Yep. Hello, Dad. Yes, it's going well. I'm at the Louvre. Will we see each other this week? Oh, okay. No, it doesn't matter. You can call me, seems like next week. Yeah, you can. Can you call me next week?
Disappointing, frustrating, and completely shocking to Charlie. I love the tiny little circle with Nick's like, what face?
It's like, you speak French, like, fluently. And Nick's just like, I didn't tell you that? This hasn't come up before?
Which is funny, because this is the second time he's had that conversation on this trip.
It's like, oh, well, my dad is French and lives in Paris, and we've always spoken mainly in French, so I thought I told you that.
Charlie's just blushing.
God, I really want to just push you against a wall right now.
Nick's like, Charlie!
Like, nothing. Oh my God. It's so like a horny teenage boy who doesn't know how to behave in public.
Yes. And then Nick still is like, do you like that I can speak French? Like, you fucking think?
Yeah.
He's like, it's fine. It's cool. And then we get our classic Mon Amour. Oh my God, shut up, you nerd. You're so cringy. You don't look like you're cringing. You look like you're blushing a lot. And he kind of like tackles him to the ground.
And I love that, like, in that, like, middle one, you can see they're both blushing. And then security comes up, and they're like, run! I'm like, Charlie, you should be running right now.
Again, I say, do not run. Conserve your energy. You just pass out. Then he checks in, obviously. Anyway, what did your dad want? I can't believe I didn't know he was French. Oh, yeah, I wanted to try and meet up with him, but he said he's too busy with work. And this is when we kind of learn more about his, like, we kind of have hints in the comic before, but this is really when we learn, like, his dad's not the best.
Yeah. He's like, he's not the most reliable, but he's still my dad, you know? I wanted to tell him about you in person. And we get, like, this picture of, like, tiny Nick with Stefan.
Which he pulled up so easily, and it makes me so sad that he has that, like, just on the red, like, on the ready.
Charlie is trying to be encouraging and saying that can still happen eventually. It doesn't have to happen on this trip. And then Charlie's like, this has been stressing you out. You should have told me about it. And Nick's like, yeah, I didn't want to make you worry. And then he's like, I guess we've both been keeping some stuff to ourselves. And Charlie says, well, how about we both promise to actually talk to each other when we've got shit going on? And I'm like, good plan.
Mm-hmm. Now, can you please actually do it?
Mm-hmm. And then they just kind of like both look at each other, and Charlie hugs him. We have like just the words "I love you" over and over again, like mixed in with the hearts. With the leaves, rather. Yeah, it's so cute.
Very, very, very cute. And that's where we end this section.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to say, after this is when we get my favorite mini comic. The Become Human one.
Oh, yeah.
That one is my absolute favorite. I reread it all the time. So I was excited to see it come back around.
Favorite's the puppy one.
Oh, the puppy one's good.
Tori thinks they've adopted a child.
Yes, yeah. She's like, what the hell?
Yeah. I have a quote and a panel prepared this time. I don't need to frantically go through it. But it's because, and I've kind of already like talked about it, but the quote for me is, Nick saying, you're not fragile or broken or anything like that. And that whole conversation through to, I really care about you. Mm-hmm. I just think it's very important, and also something that I need to remind myself of from time to time.
Valid.
Yeah.
I went with more of a like funny, wholesome one, and went with the classic, oh, you're being gay, good job, carry on.
That was a contender, but yeah.
What was your favorite panel?
My panel is actually a part of that. It's Charlie with the like I love yous written all like around his head. It's just really cute.
It's super cute. My favorite is Tao answering the door and Elle being there and his like panic face.
It's very good.
Yeah, that it just gets me every time I giggle. So yeah, I went with stuff that made me feel good this time for my answers, because this was a heavy episode.
Yeah.
All right, so we have one section left of this volume.
It's a very action-packed section. There's a lot going on. Well, that just about wraps us up for today.
If you want to follow us online, we are at Why Are We Cast on all platforms. And if you enjoyed this episode, please consider giving us a rate and review on whatever platform you listen on.
And comment, now that we can comment.
On Spotify, yeah.
Until next time, bye.
Bye.